Oh, you don't care about this one. Right, 30 minutes.
All right.
Cool. This is the Not a Podcast.
Not a podcast.
Podcast number 1.
Number 0 test.
0 test with man. This, I'm thinking back about it. Like the first real thing I did filming wise with you guys. And as you were starting talking just before, beside this, we were going to film Wendell Hoten.
Hoten, yeah.
Man, which
5-hour set.
5-hour set, and it was like, as you were saying, I had no experience in nothing. I was just I want to film some stuff. And we had amount of equipment was 0.
Yeah,
it was
remember,
so bad.
Yeah.
I was asking everyone for GoPros and stuff.
Yeah.
And my Panasonic G55, which is the best, worst camera on earth. Cheapest as well.
Bro, you did some magic with that, man.
Man, it was such a good set.
Yeah. And man, that was the beginning of a journey, man. And look at you guys now. As I was saying before, I'm so fucking proud of you guys with Vert, with everyone, with Leo, Tristan, you. It's so crazy how quick you grew. And it inspires me so much because I'm just an aspiring filmmaker, I'm not a professional day-by-day one, but I love it, and fuck, you guys are next level already.
Man,
what was the watch that you guys did?
We did so many watches. What's the last one we did? Crux Automatique. It's
so good.
It's a browner. What's background of it?
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, yeah.
Yes. Happy Saturday.
Homemade coffee, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to start just what you're saying. I'm aspiring, whatever. You gotta You taught me so much at first because you're the type of guy knows every single thing about creative digital working. Graphic designer, animation, editing, video editing, filmmaking, taking photos, Photoshop. You when I met you, I had zero experience in anything, and I knew nothing. And then you came in and you just showed me Photoshop. You can do all those millions of things animation. Video effects, color grading, stuff like that. And I feel you're the one that really showed me hey, this can be a job,
Really?
Out of everyone. Yeah, because you're the first one who was getting paid to do creative stuff that I knew in the whole world.
Really?
And
I didn't know that detail.
Yeah, man, we were sitting on this couch and it was with Wendell, of course, just chilling yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't know any technical shit. I'm just talking cameras and angles with
Man,
you.
I was what the hell? And he's getting paid for it? How do I get signed up?
Oh man, that was magical, man. But yeah, so I pretty much, man, my career, it's so mixed, because I started when I was 16 years old or 15, just doing some animations on Flash. Back in the day, Macromedia Flash, it wasn't even Adobe. And just doing the stick figure, there's fights and a guy jerking off.
That would cut off.
Nah, it's alright. But just doing some random stupid things. And I realized that you could program buttons and link to a different page. And then I started creating mini websites. So my brother wanted a website for his pool and I did it. And then I started doing these little things. As I was doing 16 years old, this 1 year between 15 and 16, I got an offer from my sister-in-law, which was my brother at the time. And she said, oh, my brother works for an agency and they're opening a digital department now. So they want to give you a trainee position. I was yeah, I have no job. I have nothing. I haven't done anything in my life, just drinking, whatever. and then I started I started doing animations, banners, these banners from the websites, the little strips, squares, rectangles, and I started doing ads for universities, this bunch of things, just Flash at the time. Back there, I started learning Photoshop, Illustrator. I had the most perfect bosses ever. They taught me so much. I haven't done any courses in my entire life, just tiny things like tutorials and stuff. But I started in advertising agencies, just doing a bunch of different things, bunch of different clients, and I really loved it. Like this. Oh, this is like sitting in the computer because I was always a computer guy.
You're a
I
nerd?
think my dad gave me my first computer. I was like 12, Windows 95 or something.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, man, 98, Windows 98. And then like I was always this computer guy. When I realized I could, because I was working in parties, like kids parties, just like monitoring kids and stuff, and I was like, fuck, this is not something
What I want to do.
Yeah, like,
I
and
want
then
to kill myself.
oh yeah, man. And then suddenly I found myself with a career in advertising. I was like, yeah, that's it. And then I started straight away having dreams of like, I'm gonna open my agency. I'm gonna straight away like I'm gonna have this and I have a team and have a business somewhere, an office, and that's it. I started jumping from agency to agency, learning animation, improving my animation in Flash. Then I jumped into After Effects, editing videos. Actually, I started editing more videos when I came here because I started doing Hoten, 43 Degrees, the record label.
Should we explain real fast who's Hoten?
Yeah. So after I came to Australia, I was working in advertising my whole life, and then I came here. I was just partying with a few Brazilians, and then I met in my birthday party. I met this Brazilian guy called Wendo, aka Hoten, and he's a DJ producer, and he just needed a website. And he was DJing in the party, and he said, "Okay, I need a website. I heard the guys told me you're good with design and stuff. So are you keen?" I'm like, yeah. And then I looked at his stuff. He didn't have anything, like he had a logo, but he wanted to change and everything. So I started kind of, okay, let's sit, have a meeting. Let's talk about your brand. Like, I can help you out. Like, you're a talented guy. Let's do it. And then he said, you know what? I want to open a record label. Like, I think you're the guy to just join me. I had zero experience with music. And he just said, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, it's a new challenge. And then that's it. And then we started like the record label, and I got into more of the music industry, like events design and video editing. I started filming his sets, and then I learned a lot of filming just on the phone. And then I bought a camera, I started editing, and I literally just started a whole new chapter in my creative career.
So fast, man, as well.
So quick. It was like 2 years, 1 year.
It's like you did like all this work prior to it, and then you like goes like, okay, cool, this person is asking from me like a whole media crew, like plus record media label, like agency, blah. You did everything in one go, and you like did it so fast because like all the prior knowledge you had, and it was like, okay,
was it? Yeah, that's exactly it. We just learned on the go, especially me, both of us as a record label owners, but also me as like a marketing guy. I was doing everything. I did the logo, I did like websites, the Instagram, the Facebook, all the designs. I started doing it, and it was good. It is still good because it's kind of my creative platform, because it's mine and his, like, and he doesn't have much input. He has his input, but he gives me freedom because I have the previous knowledge and experience. So you just say, you do the design and marketing, I do the music. That's it. Each on their own, its own. And then it's so good because I get to just try it out things, and learn new stuff, and it's awesome, man. Like, and from there, like, I just developed this musical side of my creative career, and fucking loving it, man. It's like, it's been a dream.
Man, that's a crazy story. Yeah. It's like, I knew most of it, but just some stuff like, how you met him just at a party or whatever, like, man, it's like all these things, and now like you guys are pretty much like, it's family,
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's definitely a family. We have the family 43. I have this tattoo over here.
Oh, man. At some point I was going to get a tattoo.
Fuck,
of the 43.
Rare. That would be amazing.
I was like, man, like, what if like it falls apart? Whatever. I was like, you're already studying dumb tattoos. Like, maybe you shouldn't get like 43 yet, or whatever.
I mean, but it's a number. You can get away with it. It's not like a face or logo, like you can get away.
Raoni space here.
Yeah. There's a couple other people. I mean, my wife has it. Gio has a tattoo.
There's Gio. There's Mad Dog.
Huh?
Mad Dog.
No. Felipe doesn't have.
Doesn't have it.
No. It's
family or whatever.
Vinny.
Vinny has it.
Yeah, and Richie as well. Richie, I don't think you met him. Richie from UK.
I saw him once.
Yeah.
But like that's it.
Yeah, he done one as well. I think he did it in Bali. It's so crazy.
Sketchy.
Like people, mate, it's so crazy to think people done a fucking tattoo of your logo, man. It's like unreal.
Well, because it means a lot, you know?
Yeah, because we met at some point in their life. You know, he was living with Houghton.
Really?
Yeah, he was living like flatmates. And crazy, man. But it's so good because it's a good medium to try creative stuff. You know, you can record a full set with different angles, different cameras, and then you can do promo assets, like release artworks, which we always like. I'm trying always to improve, you know. It gave me so much knowledge just by myself, like just trying new things, and it's so good, man. And
so going back on a question that I wrote down actually before was like, if you were an aspiring like new person that wanted to get into like all the music industry or like just a creative field, what would you reckon is like, is it like something I just said, like just say yes to stuff, do stuff and try stuff out and like you'll learn on the job?
I mean, depends on your like willingness and what is your passion. Like for me, I discovered my passion really young, you know?
Yeah.
Like 16 years old, I was like, design, creative, animations, moving, like giving feelings to people, you know, selling things with like a meaning. Like I discovered that, so that was easy for me. But I know that a lot of people struggle. Some people try to get into advertising and like, they change from project management to this to that, and like they never know exactly. But I would say just try a bunch of things, just do it, you know, like open the software. You want to try 3D like I want to, just open the software, look at tutorials. Mate, today, you know that because you use it a lot. YouTube has everything you need. It's a bloody university, man.
YouTube University.
It's crazy. Like you can learn there's the most specific thing you can learn. So like 2022 is no excuse for you not to learn something, you know?
I was like, literally like every time like, like a lot of people like ask me like, even when I go shoot, like there's like younger people like older than me, but like they want to get into the field or whatever. And they're always like, oh, Max or Raoni or whatever, like, oh, how do I get into it? And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. And they have to like, because university, like afters or like whatever, like there's like courses to like universities to be able to film. It's like $80,000 to $90,000 a year.
Yeah, man.
Even if you're Australian, like it's like it's mentally effed up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you're gonna go to afters. You're gonna be like, yeah, it's cool and stuff. Like afters, university is to meet people. If you really want to learn, you go to YouTube because YouTube's like, how do I go on Premiere Pro and change the sequencing so that all of my clips change directly to like a different color profile? Like really specific questions.
Yeah. Someone did a video.
20 videos of them. And each video is every month someone makes a new video that's better.
Absolutely.
You go to university like and you give you like, okay, this is like the manual. You're gonna like learn from this. This was made in 1998.
Yeah.
Man, 1998 they like
you have to do this assessment that's gonna stress you out.
But also like those cameras didn't exist in 1998. They were doing film or whatever, you know? Or
Absolutely.
like old VR or whatever. You're gonna learn from this textbook from 1998 at university, man. It's like this thing like YouTube is so compelling because it's free. You can have it whenever you want. It's short and it's straight to the point.
100%. And people are actually like doers, and people who are doing the video, it's because they're passionate enough to teach other people and make a whole video just to teach them. So they actually have the knowledge, you know, like it's so crazy. Like there's so many talented people, man. Like you know that like I always wanted to try and create new stuff, but for my personal stuff, I'm more like a consumer, you know, like I consume so much YouTube. I watch how to make content. I watch doing the content. I watch cameras and this and that. And like, that's why I kind of end up not doing actually, because I watch so much and I kind of lost track of time. But it's crazy how much you can learn, man. Like I'm fascinated by YouTube.
Man, everything I've ever learned from like filmmaking is literally from YouTube or trying out. Like it's like I went to like this media arts course, whatever, at university in UNSW, and I'm like, bro, I'm getting there. Like I'm already working in a company where we do like stuff for like we did a lot of stuff for like, we did Four Seasons, we did for like the Rocks, like it's like big places that are in Sydney, you know, and like I literally like gave in a different version, but like kind of the same award that we gave to like some really big clients. We were supposed to like do like a short thing about like time or whatever, and we did this thing with like a watch brand or whatever, and like that client approved. It was really done for a big company and everything. And everyone was like really happy with it. I give it at university, and they're like, you understood nothing of what filmmaking is. And I was like, what?
Are you
and
kidding me?
This guy that
I've
made a video of him just in his bathtub chewing gum. We're like just for 10 minutes. We're like, I think it was like there was a window on his left side or whatever, and she was like, oh my god, it's exactly what filmmaking is all about, blah 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 blah. And like he got like this best note, and I failed my course. And I'm like,
are you kidding me?
If he gives,
you failed the filmmaking course.
I failed the filmmaking course.
Are you kidding me?
And like I was so peeved. So what I did is that I went to see my dean, like the head office, and I like literally like tell like he hated me because like I was doing another degree and I wanted to change everything over, and I'm like change all my degrees over. Like I'm doing arts now. I was doing quantum physics before. Like it's worth more than arts. Like give me you know, pass my stuff around. It's like, oh Max, what do you want this time? I'm like, this is unforgivable. Like I was like so annoyed about the fact the system is like, oh, if it's like not artistic or like this like very like,
mate.
I'm like, and I gave my work was like literally something that in the industry itself was on a base level of like, hey, that's like worth 10 grand or whatever. And you got a university and that's a fail. And I'm like, it annoyed me the fact that it pushed people to think that they're good at something and they're going to survive in this world, because it's hard to survive in a creative field.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, with this like mediocre amount of effort, you're going to have respect because like it's artistic or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but like what the base level of what you're going to have to give a client is not going to change. You can be artistic all you want, but you need to have this amount of quality. And then it's like, this university is literally telling children, like, think highly of yourself, even though you do shit work. And then most of them were still in contact with in a group chat. Awesome people, but like, they were like, oh, I can't find a job, I can't do this. Like 3 years out, and most of them are not doing creative stuff anymore because they failed. Like
mate, I am an avid like against the structure like educational system currently we have even like in Brazil where I'm from, and like anyway, I haven't studied properly in here. Like I came here with 23 years old, but back in Brazil, they train you not to be successful in life. You know, there's no entrepreneurship, there's no admin teaching. You know, and you can learn from people. Like 2022, guys, the world changed. You know, like it's a new world. You can learn stuff that you want. You don't need a degree. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You just get good at something, get skilled, and you can do it. Like it's a different world as long as your work is good. Like I've always got all my jobs from my portfolio. It wasn't even the best portfolio. I just showed what I'd done and that's it. You know, it wasn't a super crazy animation, blah blah blah, whatever. And it's just about the work, you know. Nobody ever asked me, oh, are you graduated or anything, you know. Like it's always, can I see your work? Yeah, here it is. Okay, you're hired. That's it. And that's even more now, you know. People are not even doing uni, you know. Like
they just care like how good are you at what you are. It's like I was watching.
That's what matters, man.
I was watching this video, like this new film. It's called Ambulance. It's by, who is it again? Like this really insane director.
Ryan Gilligan, is it the actor?
Yeah, but like there's also like the director.
He's a famous guy.
Like super. He made
Bale.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Explosion guy.
yeah.
And then he was like, okay, this guy was 19 years old, got recruited by Michael Bay to fight FPV for the whole movie.
Oh yeah, I saw some scenes.
Man,
yeah,
like this guy's 19. And because this guy was like doing like stuff like you couldn't find him on YouTube, whatever. And he was like doing stuff that no one else was, like cinematic, like really like thinking for movies. You know? Like also crazy acrobatics and stuff. Like there's like him and a few other people that are really like back in it. That was like 5 years ago when he recruited him for the movie. So like now he's like 23 or something like that. But like it really showed how like
Can you imagine, bro?
19 men, Michael Bay comes to you,
Just
man.
doing videos for YouTube with your toy, and suddenly the fucking biggest director from Hollywood.
Man, running like $20,000 drone just through the air, crashing tons of them.
Oh man!
And like,
you can like, yeah, if I can crash, I'll
man,
try this.
it was like downtown Manhattan was closed for this 19-year-old guy to like.
Man, that's crazy,
But
man.
that's the type of thing. Like, if you really love something and you give your 1,000%,
yeah,
and a lot of time people are gonna be like, okay, cool. But like this guy's like, I don't get why people want to pay me. Like, no, I can't find any clients. Like everyone's like, this guy's like, my work is like $100 for what I'm doing. 5,000 photos, $100. Then like you go to another place and it's like, yeah, like this like agency also like, oh, it's $5,000, which is like already 50 times more for like the photos. And then you go to like Apple for one photo, or it's $120,000.
yeah.
And it's all about like your worth is like when people, if you're in the wrong environment where they don't value what you do, just change the environment.
Exactly.
And change, like if you continue improving yourself, your worth is always going to improve. But if you're not improving, then of course you stay in that environment. You can't go to the next one. But like also, if you're too good for the environment and you stay in that environment and you get paid like shit,
you're gonna go down.
Absolutely. Because you don't have the resources, you don't have anything like that. And it's your fault also for not making an effort to get out of the environment and try something bigger, you know?
Completely, man, completely. And that goes for everything pretty much in life, man.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you a completely different example as well. Like when people come to Australia to learn English and they keep walking around, like hanging out with the same people from the same country, the same language, they're not going to improve their English. Or, for example, I remember I was like hanging out with too many people that didn't care about English, you know, and I was trying to learn, improve when I first got here. And I was hanging with people who had terrible English, which is okay. Everyone is here to learn. But I felt my English decreasing, you know. I was like, oh, I need like Aussie friends, or like I need someone UK, like an English friend, because I want to get proper, you know. And that's exactly it. Like if you hang out with people with mediocre results and stuff, you're gonna start like having the same results, you know. Like it's pretty much like a mirroring osmosis kind of thing, you know. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. Like back to your question, like I reckon if you just are really willing to do something, aspiring something, like for example, I want to learn 3D. What I did, downloaded the software. I got this iPad. I got both software for my computer and my iPad. Started playing around. Not even close to being shit yet. I'm still worse than shit, but you know, I want to, and I'm just gonna try and watching tutorials and YouTube, and that's it, man. Like just go for it and try to network. I reckon, you know, try to meet people, try to get close to respected people, you know, especially for example for the music industry. You gotta reach out to good like music people, you know. You have to hang out with them. Like don't just go to always, okay, you have to support your friends and this and that, like your close friends, but you have to also go and visit and see a master at work, you know. Go to like see a massive DJ when they come to town. Like I always try to go to international DJs to learn, because I'm getting into more DJing now as well. So like I like to just analyze. I'm always analyzing, you know, like, so yeah, man, just it's very important to just be in the right network and be constantly reaching for better networking, you know, because networking is everything in this life, man.
It's like not only that, but like it's like everything for us, like in a company, Vert. No, like for our company, like we got most of our jobs from like maybe got one job and it was like it's kind of like pathetic job and like, oh, I don't want to do it, but like anyway, and then through that one we do like our best work, which is like way over what they would pay for, and then it goes into the whole network, and then like, you know, we make it really good for them. We do everything for them. We like talk to them, communicate to them, like we tell them what we do. We like give the best, we like give them we really communicate, and then they're like, oh, this friend told me that you guys are really awesome, blah, 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 and like this one will get another job and another job. And it's a really big like maze, and if you like just make
It's a
the
web.
effort once.
Yeah.
It's like the yes theory, you know, like you say yes once and then you give like 2 more opportunities. Yes, yes, 2, like 2 more, but you know,
Man.
you say no, you close down already.
Absolutely.
Done, you know?
Man, I'm a yes theory completely.
No, you're a yes.
Man, I'm really just, I like to try everything, you know, like you can see by what I do. I like to call myself a multidisciplinary designer creative, you know? That's a good word, bro. It's good.
Nice.
Like Photoshop, Illustrator, animations, video editing, marketing, social media, engagement, ads.
Man, you run
management.
everything. You run literally everything.
I love, I mean, there's a downside, very big downside, which is I want to be part of every part of the process, you know. That's shit, because that's consuming, that's stressing, you know, especially like with the label with 43 Degrees. I want to be part of everything. I want to be part of the contract, reading the legal side of the contract, to the creating the marketing strategy, to approving the sounds that we release, like, and that's just so much, especially when you don't live out of that just specifically. Like, I have a day job, work for other companies, and like do the freelance, have a dog to take care, have a wife to give love as well.
Who do you give more love to, the dog or the wife?
Fuck. That's a shit question, man.
Gio, listen.
Nah, to both. But
good one.
but oh man, like my dog is just so, it's like a kid, you know, like when you have a kid, you kind of transfer the majority of your love to your kid. I still love the person, the partner, but you kind of transfer a lot of love to the kid. And my dog's my kid, man. Like, Blues is the best.
Blues,
you know him.
Blues is it. Blues.
Oh. Yeah, you have the neighbor Humphrey, which is lovely as well.
I believe he didn't come today.
He might show up at some point.
Yeah, he does his thing.
Okay, but now I want to know about you. How it's been your creative journey? Quick but fucking amusing and amazing to see. But I want to learn more. How has been your process?
Yeah, let me just put that camera back on again. Yeah. So I'll just do that.
Of course.
And then you go like...
Because we are here, we're doers. We don't care if we have to stop and check the camera, you know, we are...
Oh, just that camera only does 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah, I know. We've done it before, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did so many times.
Yeah.
Gotta run and, like, do that. Man, so where it started, like, I think it started all, like... I remember, so dumb, but like, I was working in this place called Opus.
Uh-huh.
Amazing team, everything, like, really, and the boss was, like, this person that, like, really, like, showed you what it's like to be a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could do as much as you want for your people working under you. Mm-hmm. You can make it easy, you can make it the best place and all that stuff. They're still gonna want something from you. Like, they're still gonna be annoyed. You're gonna be, you know, there's no way around it. Mm-hmm. And it really showed me like how to have the empathy. Sometimes you lose your shit and like, but like really like
totally
really impressive. And like that's something I did that most people don't understand. Like, I think I need more maturity to understand that. And I was there all the time. Okay, and I was there all the time, and like he would really like show me like, what do you want to do? Like, ask me those questions. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm 19 or whatever. Like, I don't know what I want to do. And yeah, and like then one day I was like downstairs, and I was like, I hate my life at this point. Like, nothing's really growing. I was doing quantum physics and education at university, and I was I was teaching already, like in one of the schools down south. Really hard school, man. Like the kids that go from low SES backgrounds, like. Some kids wanted to like sleep at school because their parents were beating them, and like it was like, man, it was so intense. I'm like, and I'm very empathetic. Like I feel if someone's crying, like I kind of feel like, oh man, like I don't want to cry, but I feel bad for you. So I was like, man, I was giving everything to them, and like the school system was already like executing them. Like the school system was against them, crazy. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, and I was like watching this video of Jal Varez, you know. This guy like with curly hair, like blonde, he like jumps off planes and all that stuff. And I was like, I think I love the freedom, but I was most interested in like in the camera work. Like this thing of like, I want to film stuff everywhere, I want to travel. And I was like, I went to a festival with some friends on WhatsApp, and I was like, man, I come back, I don't want to be doing this. I quit my university. And I told my parents afterwards. And then I was like, I'm leaving to go Byron Bay. And they're like, bro, like he quit university. He's like saying that he wants to make film now, and then he's like coming from quantum physics to filming, and then he's like, okay, and I'm leaving now to Byron Bay. So I went like there for 2 months and I filmed everything.
Nice.
Editing, like there's like, you know, like travel videos, like terrible taste. Like, man, I look back, I'm like, oh, what did I do? But
gotta start.
so happy. And then I was like I met you, like that was prior. I had met you kind of before I was doing all this. And we were like talking about making stuff, and I filmed my first party, you know? And that was like, man, I'm like,
that's sick.
That's so sick. I'm meeting people. Like I was so stuck in life. Like everyone's like just like bland. Like I'm gonna buy a house and meet this. And like I go to this community where I was like, okay, everyone spoke Spanish, Portuguese, but everyone was different. I was like, you know, I grew up in different places, and it was like, wow, all doing stuff. And especially you guys and Wendell and you know Danlita and Davi and all that, like really like going places. And then I filmed some stuff, and then my guy at work. He was like, oh, I'll pay you to do video for me.
Nice.
Shit videos, like video,
pay,
passion, pay
man.
Go together. Like, whoa, what the hell? And so then I did more and more and more. And so many, like, I think I started university again, changed it to my physics to media arts, means nothing.
Yeah.
And so I was waking up, going to work. Then after work, straight away to university, which was around the corner. And straight away I would come home, eat a thing. Then I go to nightclubs. I'd film till like 1, 2 a.m. I'd come home. I'd finish all the photos first straight away. So around 4 a.m. I'd go to sleep. I'd sleep from 4 till 7, 8. And then I'd go straight to work again, like everything.
Oh, man,
then on Saturday, Sunday, I'd wake up early again to like catch up sunrise with some people I met on Instagram or whatever. And then I'd go like, edit everything the videos, and nighttime, that's when like usually like you parties or like on Saturdays or Sundays or whatever. You know, like this continues like 6 months. I met so many people, and like I met so many like.
It was so fast for
you.
So
fast, man. So fast, and like then at some point I was like, man, I'm filming every single day, like some shit like all shit parties, man. With my like Panasonic G55.
I remember,
and then like taking photos, doing this, everything, and I was like, man, I love this, but I'm so burnt out, man. I was like,
this party's hard, man. Like, cause it's late.
And I'm like trying to do all this thing that I thought was necessary for my family to accept me, like which is like university, doing the things, going to see some friends, going to family dinners. For that 2 years, I was barely there in any family dinners, like, and I really felt like I was separating from my family. Because I was like, is my dream or my family? And I'm a very family person. It was very hard. And then I was like, fuck it. I'm everything into it. And then afterwards, like we were doing festivals and like it just grew and grew. And then like I was
you grew with us, man.
Grew like, and you guys were like always like bringing me up, man, you should do this, or man, you should do that. And like every time it's like new ideas, and especially you always pushing me to do stuff.
Yeah, man.
Learned so much. I think the hardest was like the mental aspect. Because the learning is always fun. But like, like being like in front of a screen where you just don't know what to do because you're so tired, but you have to give it for tomorrow. But tomorrow you have assignments for university. And then I got a job at a company where I was like doing events. And that's where I met the 2 other people I'm doing my vert company with. And man, it was like, I came in, it's like awesome, blah, blah. Like, it seemed like pretty chill, like not too hardcore and all that stuff. But little did I know, man, it was like so intense. I did everything from like graphic design, Photoshops, animations, videos and all that stuff.
It's good learning.
Plus being on the thing, doing the actual events. And like, I didn't build too much, but like, you know, I was still having to be there, plus having to do, you know, and doing also freelance on the side because like, I need to buy stuff.
Absolutely.
And man, it was the best. Like it was the toughest for some parts, the most laughs, the most like this. But like the fact that I was like just there, and it was like the thing is, I think if you want to get good, it has to be your life for a certain amount of time. Like it has to become your entire life.
Yeah.
And then quit the company later on, and just before COVID, the boys as well quit it. The people I was working with. And then we started Avert during the beginning of COVID, and man, that was rough. Like
you guys started so good from the go, guys.
But it's like this thing of like, it was 4.5 years of all my clients, all my things that I brought on the Vert.
Yeah.
And like, I had like $20,000 of like in my savings, and I went to $1,000 because I was like, the company was like
buying stuff.
The company was making literally like all the money was like to be able to have the boys work for the company as well. So like I was just paying my rent, my everything on it, and then we got to a point where like we were big enough, and then we just like bam, And so many times, like, where you're like, oh, we're not making, like, are we doing the right thing? We're not making any money, like, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of it, like, we just, like, I was like, I want to film campaigns, but I don't have a team working film campaigns. I want to do it, but I don't have a team. And, like, now we have a team, we got everything. And it's like, we shot for Commonwealth Bank, we shot for NDIS, like, we shot for, like, helped on Maserati shoots. We helped on, like, Tefal. We have, like, which are really big French brands, like, and all that stuff. And it's like, bro, like, we're exactly where we want to be. You know, wish we were bigger all the time, but it's like, that's like how
it's happening, man.
It's like a minute ago, I was like on my shitty cameras in nightclubs where it's like there was no light and they're like, oh, it's all grainy your footage. I'm like, wrong environment, you know? And now in the right environment, you know, with
the right team,
right the right mindset, team and everything. It's like, it took so much to build it. And the boys put all that effort as like all three of us were like so much want to build it, and then we go here.
Mate, crazy.
And now we're doing a
how old
podcast.
Is Vert? Like less than 2 years, like
a year and
a half,
3 months, something like that. Yeah,
unreal, man, unreal. Like when I saw you starting, because we always had this chat about like, oh, let's start something, but because I had the day job, I always kind of couldn't put my 100% on it.
Yeah.
Because I was, by the time it's 6:30 p.m., 7 p.m., like you're like, exhausted,
you're dead.
Like,
you don't want to.
Plus the parties on the weekend, so the weekend I can't. It's hard. But when I saw you, okay, we opened this company. I was like, this guy,
man.
Yeah, and then suddenly, bloody, I saw the shots, like the watch, the cars, you guys hanging cameras out of the cars and filming. Like I was like, mate, this is like a bloody 10-year-old company doing, you know, like, and you guys in less than 1.5 years smashing. I was so inspired because I remember you were like, oh, back when we met, you were kind of asking me this and like, oh, what we should do, and now like you pass me so far ahead, and I was like, mate, how did that happen so quick? Like so crazy. Like now I learn every day just by watching you. We don't even talk that much about technical
it was not
stuff.
so quick. It was like I've known you for like since I was 20.
Yeah, like
5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like it feels so quick. To like
it feels quick because of probably COVID. We lost 2 years.
Man, COVID.
So let's say 3 years.
Yeah,
because didn't count. Yeah, but
COVID is when I worked some of the hardest. Because like we had like I think COVID for a lot of medium-sized company it saved us because like the big companies closed.
Yeah.
We were like hungry.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like they're like, we need someone to film 30 videos of 1 hour, all of them edited like into tempo, blah blah, for next week.
And let's do it.
And we're like, let's do it, and like just till 2-3 a.m. just editing and stuff. And best investment of my life is my computer, man.
Yeah,
man. Like
I remember you were building it. You were
build a computer and like it was like back like now it's like $6,000 like, but like it's like 3-4 years or whatever ago. But like now I'm like, man, I'm so happy.
It's
like
so important.
Just you got to have a workspace and a workflow where nothing stops you and you create like, you know when you get the flow state. If you got to wait every click half a second.
Oh man, you get out of it.
You get out of it.
Yeah.
F that, you know, like you
man. It's important to have like good equipment, but also like we could also do stuff with a not that good equipment. So like it all depends on how well you know how to use the stuff as well. Like for example, there's a lot of producers and DJs and like music producers. They literally just have a MacBook and a headphone and they produce. Obviously, they reach out to studios later to finalize, finish, mix and master, but like
that's it.
It's just about doing it, man. Like and like you were asking, like the aspiring thing. It's doing it. Is learning from others, and it's life, man. Like if you just really want it, it's doable. You know that's the cliche kind of saying that every big questions interviewers ask, and people say, yeah, you just gotta go and do it. But it actually is.
It's like the crazy part. Like everyone's like, oh, like. No, like you do the equipment or something. Like, how well do you know your equipment? Are you using your equipment to 120%?
Yeah.
Because I was like on a laptop. I think same vibe as me. I was on a XPS 15, it's like Dell laptop, and then I was running like everything on dual monitors, like something to like cool it down and everything. I was like doing like because my work would ask me like, hey, I want 12 Photoshop assets from Illustrator and Photoshop, but at the same time you have to finish editing this like those 3 like digital campaigns for like when we were doing events, like we would like make campaigns and videos or whatever on Premiere at the same time, and then my computer would like have so many burning like, it would just like so hot, it would just like go to like slower than a PC 98, whatever, like so slow, and I was like, man, hate it. And if I'm gonna do this on continue doing this, I have something I need to like follow, because like I was my level completely past what the computer could do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I was like, okay, let's invest.
And your cameras as well, like 4K stuff, like it adds up. Yeah.
Man, I think like I made the really wrong choice of like, I thought I like wanted like Panasonic GH5 and what like really cool like specs and stuff. And I was like, no man, what I need like is a low light camera, because everything I was shooting was like low light.
Yeah.
And I got to this point where I was like, man, I need this. Like I want a red, I want a blah blah. Like, and then I was like, I tried an A7 III from a friend of mine in a nightclub, and I was like,
it's game changing.
It's like it's complete, not even game changing. It's like your life is like, bro, I've been thinking the whole time in my life I needed those other cameras that cost $30,000, and like this camera costs $3,000. Two grand because I got it off like a blah blah. Was exactly what I needed. Didn't have the best spec, didn't have the best thing, nothing. But like those cameras are crazy.
Does the job, yeah.
Photos and videos,
so good,
in low light.
Yeah,
that's what I needed.
Man, absolutely. I remember because we were always doing club stuff, and it's such a hard environment to film and photos.
Festivals, all that stuff. Yeah, man. And like
nights.
Festivals, got to be careful because also there's lasers that can like burn your You know that I burnt my camera like 3 times, and because I knew the people at George Camera, I bought everything so well. They're like, okay, we'll pass this incognito. And the 3rd time, they're like, man, you got to really stop. Like, buy a shit camera on the side for that kind of stuff. And man, you're gonna like. So they did it the last time, and then it was like when I stopped doing festivals and stuff for a while. So I was like,
let me save my equipment to film more watches and more cars.
But I got like FX6 asynchronous.
No, it's crazy. Like I'm just here. When I got here, I was like, wow. This is like a proper podcast setup with actually like, mate, I'm pretty sure like that's Joe Rogan kind of equipment, like, but it probably better, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have as big.
It's so good. It's like, I want to be podcasting with you for so long. We talked about this.
Mate, I know.
I remember talking about this like when we were filming in Melbourne, and when there was sleeping till I don't know how long, and we like filmed ourselves like playing music, whatever.
The blues improv.
Yeah, we should like be doing like podcasting and stuff like back. Like that was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah,
man, it's like crazy.
And now we're here, fucking finally doing it.
Yeah. Well, about to hit 1 hour. I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
But like any last thing you want to say on the podcast,
man,
before we do our next one?
Oh yeah. We can probably do another one later as well. Yeah, like because we are now that we started, I have so much more to say as well.
Next time, let's actually do a script. This is more like
this is a loose test.
No, this is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast. That's it.
This is not a podcast.
I was driving here and I was wondering like, oh, what are we gonna talk about? We haven't discussed anything, but I don't know if you watched it. Kanye West documentary.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I just finished like a couple days ago, and it was just in my mind, that was something that he said, like there's something that the society brings, like we grow up thinking that we cannot be proud and like believe in ourselves. We can, whenever someone comes in like, oh yeah, nice work, you did well, and you're like, oh, thank you, yeah, no, don't worry, oh yeah, you think so. And he was always like, F that, man, like, yeah, I know it was good because I know I'm good, like, and that completely changed. Like, I was like, man, that's it. No one's gonna believe in you more than yourself. So why would you take into account whatever people are saying, or even if it's good or bad? It just stuck in my head. Like, he was in his first MTV interview and saying like, man, I was envisioning coming in here, like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's a surprise being here, because it's not. Like, I worked for it and I knew I was gonna be here. He manifested everything from the beginning. He got a bloody documentary guy. when he was no one. He was like, okay, you gotta film me every day, 24 hours, whenever I go in meetings, just film me. Who has this fucking mindset? Like, man, I know I'm gonna be big, so I need some footage starting
that's
now.
like this whole thing of like being visionary. Like, it's the same thing with everyone. Like, if you believe that you're not gonna get anywhere, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Exactly,
if you believe like you're gonna get like, you need to do this right now because there's no better time because you're gonna be so big. Like, why wait to be big? You know, like blah blah. No, why? And like, it's crazy because like you can see it in every person that has like blown up. They had this same thing in common. It's like they
totally, yeah.
they believed, like, maybe not that they're the best or whatever, but they believed that they're in the right direction. They're gonna, you know, this is gonna happen. Like, you know,
yeah, they manifested it. Yeah,
man, it was like no way in life. Same for us. I think like no way in life. I was like, once I knew what I wanted, I was like, man, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I remember like, man, I was at a French school where I grew up, and I went to a French school. And like this teacher I had, like, was like, you know, like, why are you doing this? You need to be good at what you do. It's very hard to get in a creative field, in filmmaking field even more. Like, I was like, I want to do like advertising for big companies. I want to like do music videos, documentaries and stuff. And it's like, you don't have the talent. Like, back then I was kind of like more timid, you know, and stuff. And I was like, it's like, yeah, you're not going to make it and all that. And I was like, watch me.
Watch me.
Man, this like 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, what a kid that's like didn't no self-confidence. I was like, man, watch me. To that guy that was like my teacher, like really high up in the school, blah blah, and I was like, watch me, you know. And it's like this thing, like, whoa, where's this coming from? It's like, oh, for the first time in my life, I'm sure what I want to do, and this blew my whole world.
Mate, completely. Mate, that's very similar to me as well. Like, I had a group of friends in my parents' place that they always used to call me like the dreamer, you know. Like, there's a kids show back in Brazil. It's like the Mundo da Lua, which is like the
world of like
moon's world. So like I'm not living on Earth, and they always say, oh yeah, Mundo da Lua, and I was like, yeah, all right, watch me. Now, like, here resident in Australia, you know, like I have my business is growing.
Man, you're the
stuff
head,
are happening.
you're the lead content creator and creative director of General Pants & Co., which is one of the biggest companies of clothing in all of Australia.
Not creative director, because my boss is gonna kill me. He's the creative art director, and like, but I'm like multi-designer.
Look, it's like it takes two to like dance. I mean, it's like he's a creative director because he's got a good sustainable team on the right side. And it's always like that. You look at every big director, it's the same thing. Every company is the same thing. I know a few people that like from big companies and stuff, and it's like they're not the lead director, but they're the co-leading, and together they make the team.
Man, the team is so important because we have a good team. Like, I wouldn't be able to do the work without the proper like marketing ideas and like the retail insights and stuff, you know, all the team, the design team, the marketing. So it's good, man. And it feels good, you know, when you see stuff on your LEDs, on the stores, window printing, decals and stuff. It's good, man. So
crazy.
So yeah, man, like it's a wild journey. It takes time. People think, oh yeah, 1 year, 2 years. No, man, like even with the record label, we are like going to 6 years now, and we're still like just reaching the point that we love. We are passionate, really like happy with the result now, like 6 years after. Like,
man, you guys are doing insane with Denox.
Man, we're so
Man, okay, this is
so
what we're gonna stop here today, because this is what we're gonna talk about next time.
Okay, we'll talk next time.
And how to create a brand. What's gonna next time.
Yeah, cool, absolutely. Yeah, bro.
All right,
Mate, I want to thank you for just messaging me yesterday out of nowhere, like, you want to record a podcast? Yes.
Yeah.
So, bro, absolutely pleasure. We fucking did it finally.
It's been ever.
But yeah, man. Hopefully we can do more. And not a podcast.
And it's called Not a Podcast.
Not a podcast. See you next time, guys. Thank you.
All right, let's go.
Yes.